Assalamualaikum gongsi apa yang terjadi. Bukan borak cerita betul yang lama kita alami. Ada yang budi ikhlas, ada yang juga kroni. Tak perlu hati-hati, boleh luahkan dekat sini.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to episode 9 Turun Cakap with Nick Mikael. Dan seperti dijanjikan, my guest for today, my good friends, they are leading the industry in the makeup world. Ini dia, Mr. Rafil and Mr. Hambali.
Halo.
Sawadikap.
Sawadikap.
Okay. Rafil and Hambali are basically also my personal friends. I kenal Rafil a few years ago bila he has this apa nama baju nama Giovanni. So bila dia Giovanni tu I ordered baju daripada dia. That's how we linked up. Hambali I kenal dia from Rafil. He used to be in the same school as my wife and she make up my wife for Pesta Perdana and you know. Tapi diorang lain sikit. Hambali bikin wedding. Kau bikin TV tak?
Tolong dorang.
Tolonglah. He's more on weddings and Rafil is more on the television industry.
Kita biasa dia buat wedding more.
Okay.
I buat TV more, tapi kita dua-dua buat wedding dengan TV.
Oh, you will help. Hand in hand lah.
Yeah, like
Mana yang lebih susah? TV punya makeup ke pengantin punya makeup? What say you?
TV tak susah lah.
Okay.
Tapi I think wedding more detail.
Wedding more detail. But wedding kalau detail pun diorang cuma they take picture, they walk around. Tapi TV camera zoom sih.
Tapi macam wedding dia detail as in dia punya accessories, baju, team.
You have your own
sanggul.
company right? For your
Yeah.
what's your company called?
Hambali The Wedding Regalia.
Hambali The Wedding Regalia. Siapa nak kahwin, sila pergi Hambali The Wedding Regalia. One of the top ones, you know. Okay, jangan main-main meletup. Okay, so is your baju yang Giovanni tu still around?
Still around, yes, we still doing it.
You still active ke atau macam dah relax sikit pasal sekarang orang bikin makeup?
Bukan, dia macam gini sebab my focus is more on bespoke. So even for wedding pun I buat it's bespoke, totally like it's not off the shelf. So we start from scratch. Like kita pilih kain, kita pilih warna. So those yang berminat untuk bespoke wedding will come to me lah. Yes.
Okay guys, ni aku nak tanya korang ni. Makeup ni is actually a woman's thingy lah, kan?
Yeah, generally lah.
Perempuan pakai makeup kan?
Yes.
Korang tak pakai makeup,
Yes,
you know? So the thing is
The Korean guys pakai makeup.
Korean guys pakai makeup lah, okay.
Rajin.
Talking about local lah.
Okay.
Ini benda yang perempuan selalu bikin.
Alright.
Why did you guys choose this to be korang punya livelihood?
Okay.
Why makeup? You first.
Okay. Cerita dia gini panjang. Saya memang tak pernah ambil khusus formal lah untuk belajar makeup kan. So benda ni terjadi
on hand.
Secara tidak sengaja sangat.
Oh betul.
Okay. So 10 tahun lalu 2010 saya melibatkan diri dengan Malay Theatre Company, which is theatre kami.
Okay.
So that's how it all began. I started doing stage makeup for them.
Ah.
Saya kita mula-mula bergiat. Lepas tu director dia Puan Atin, Cik Atin, dia kasi saya peluang untuk apa kata kau try lah buat stage makeup. Saya okay, kita buat. So I buat dalam about since 2010 sampai 2014. So I started Giovanni in 2014.
Yeah, aku kenal kau 2014 ya.
2014 yeah. So when I started my Giovanni line tu, dia secara tidak sengaja open a lot of opportunity with the TV industry. So that's when I started doing styling for TV, makeup for TV, dan kemudian ke wedding. So orang selalu start wedding dulu. Kan, nanti baru
it's true. Selalu wedding. Okay.
Usually makeup artist kat Singapore orang start wedding. Because I do the different route lah. I start from stage, TV, then baru wedding. Yeah. So that's how it all started. Then 2016 I made a decision to leave my full-time job to do this full-time. So it was a hard decision, tapi there was a pull factor. So sebelum tu pun memang kawan-kawan yang rapat ni cakap, sudahlah kau berhenti je kerja tu, kau dekat je full time. Sebab dia nampak saya terlari lah kan. Tapi memang fun lah sebab you have a peace of mind, you have a full time job, every month dapat gaji, you still have you at the same time you doing something that you like. So bila to make a decision like okay lah, maybe this is the masanya there was a push factor to leave. Then I decided to do it since 2016 full time sampai lah sekarang tu 2020.
So basically it's, can I say it, memang the minat memang daripada dulu adalah.
Ya mungkin daripada dulu ada, cuma tidak diberi kesempatan. So kesempatan tu diberi pada tahun 2010 sampai sekarang.
What about you?
Almost the same.
Okay.
But saya start as a dancer with Sri
Oh,
Warisan.
kau penari. Wow, okay.
10 years back. When I
JJ,
was
okay.
smaller lah.
Okay.
When I was smaller. So from there lah kita make up diri sendiri for shows. Then our dance mate nak tunang. Then start from there. And sampai sekarang lah.
But you see, you did makeup for theatre, then you find the minat, then after that dengan rezeki yang dibukakan kau dapat excel in it. You were a dancer, then after that you make up, then minat tu datang. But apa yang syoknya bila korang make up orang ni? Is it korang dapat bikin dia cantik? Ataupun pasal aku tahu ada orang make up macam mana make up pun dia takkan cantik tau, dia akan pecah. So is it apa yang the thrill of, is it the okay, you with this brush, with this color, with this I don't know, contour, whatever korang punya team, korang how we guys call it, I can make some beautiful, the satisfaction. Apa yang satisfied sangat doing
I
makeup
think
ni?
kita pernah berbual pasal benda ni. So I think we both agreed that satisfaction tu datang lepas kita make people happy. Okay, kita buat makeup tu, it's just not just makeup. Kita dengan klien, especially one-to-one client kan, kita instill confidence. Bila kita dah siapkan orang, they look the best version of themselves. That's where orang feel good. Because when you beli baju yang cantik, kalau you don't feel good, you tak boleh beli pun kat mana-mana. Like you can't buy confidence off the shelf.
Yeah, correct.
So I think we agree that the reason why we are still doing this because we enjoy making people happy.
The satisfaction lah. Macam satu ibadah gitulah.
Kepuasan lah, dia kepuasan lah.
Sebab
Kepuasan.
tak semua orang dapat peluang untuk bahagikan orang atau gembirakan orang.
Macam benda ni pun kalau kita fikir ada orang yang suka make up, but dia suka buat make up tapi dia punya work tak berapa bagus. Sama juga macam singing lah. So ada orang dia nak jadi penyanyi tapi dia tak boleh menyanyi. Kan?
Ada orang macam dah buat,
dia dah buat 10 muka pun gitu juga.
dia buat video klip.
Aku dah jumpa orang-orang yang jadi pelakon yang tak boleh berlakon, dah jumpa banyak orang yang
nampak juga.
orang yang nyanyi tak boleh tapi nak jadi penyanyi.
So dia sama jugalah. But
okay
kita in a way kita Tuhan kasih kita bakat sikit. So kita asah, then from there kita build kita punya confidence and also kita punya portfolio lah.
So daripada minat tu, you have made it into a business. And I could say that your Mak Services is one of the leading one and people kira-kira sought after, yang the popular ones. So you jadikan minat you sebagai satu business, you know. Bila minat tu jadi business, kadang-kadang tu ada konflik tau. Pasal kadang-kadang kita minat, tapi bila kita masuk business, kita nak kena jaga duit yang masuk, duit yang keluar. So kadang-kadang tu some people because of that quality tu tak ada. How you maintain that quality to become still one of the sought after ones?
Saya tak fikir itu kerja. Tapi saya rasa itu tanggungjawab saya. So bila kita jalankan tanggungjawab kita, kita akan buat yang terbaik lah. Sebab kalau kita rasa itu kerja, dia akan macam hari ni aku malas lah. Nanti besok boleh buat lah. Ni bukan kerja aku apa. So saya rasa kalau kita have that mindset of okay, this is my responsibility. Orang letak duit kat kita, orang book kita, orang dah bayar deposit, then kita sebagai yang dapat duit tu, yang kita sandang amanah tu, kita macam oh dia tak boleh main. Orang kecil ke besar ke package tu kita treat sama. Customer I semua tahu. Kita treat sama. You package satu baju ke 10 baju ke, treatment sama.
What's your background?
My background,
Business. Okay, bila kau started all this kan, were you in business or what were you working in office ke apa?
yes, I was working with a lot of government agencies. Tak mention lah agency tu. Tapi I graduated from comms background. I have a degree in comms. So work office tu macam I think that more than 10 years.
Kau tengok, sekarang kau mention tau, kau ada degree in comms tau. And you are doing makeup now.
So teruskan soalan tu.
So when you are doing this, I believe that apart from minat tu kan, the income that is coming in is satisfactory. Pasal kadang-kadang kalau kita minat income rabak pun, kita pun will not do it right. We must be smart about it. So macam mana kau build from kau leaving Masscom, you do a bit of theatre makeup, lepas after that you do the Giovanni. And Giovanni at one point was everybody was wearing it. I was wearing it, you know. You had like top celebrities like Shah Iskandar, Hisham Hamid to model for your baju. You sold out kat Select Fest. So all these things macam did that help from someone who has a degree in comms and you channel that into like a business to become successful?
Definitely. I must say.
Oh, aku remember kau kawan Zainazin.
Yeah, I did. I forgot that.
Kau catwalk dengan Zainazin tu, itu macam aku, that was the
It was
time aku
the-
cakap macam, wow, this Rafael Giovanni dah lain macam ni, dia catwalk dengan Zainazin ni.
Tu I think one of the opportunity yang datang tergolek lah. Tergolek tu betul tergolek sebab memang tak plan pun nak buat collaboration dengan Zainazin. Kita buat seperti biasa tapi cuma like 5 hari sebelum event tu orang ada, saya dapat panggilan orang tu nak collaborate dengan saya, like oh wow, okay, kita ada collaboration dengan Zainazin, so like buat and it was at Singapore first Modest Fashion Week.
Yeah, I remember that fair, it was very packed.
Yeah, so soalan dia is how does the background helps me? Definitely sebab dalam pekerjaan my pekerjaan with various agency dulu kan, you build context. So bila context tu dah ada, senang kita untuk berurusan dengan orang-orang di industri. Orang industri pun memang dah kenal kita. Jadi the trust is there, the confidence is there. So when I started building up Giovanni back then, it was kind of like a fast track. Sebab once I went in, I know the strategy, I know to tap on certain celebrity friends. I work with them. Walaupun dorang friends, I still pay them. Yeah, so there was a fast track for my brand to build up at that point of time. So dia dah build up, then right now demand dia banyak kepada bespoke. So memang from beginning pun I wanted to do towards bespoke. So memang sekarang kalau raya punya tempahan ke wedding pun memang I focus on bespoke. Yeah, so those clients yang come to me is really interested to have bespoke.
Okay. Wah, detail yang kau, aku nak jawab. Anyway, how long have your Mak Andam punya company been?
This year
Pak Andam lah, tak kami Mak Andam lah, Pak Andam lah.
Abang Andam actually.
Abang Andam. Okay.
This year 10 years.
You've been, your company has been around for 10 years. Wow. What is your comment? Kita ambil both comments.
Okay.
Bila orang cakap this trait lelaki bikin, it's a very girlish trait. Apa counter korang orang-orang macam itu? Macam ni anak, ni kawan saya, dia ni makeup artist. Dia makeup artist lah.
Mesti pondan
lah. Mesti kledik lah. So those tanggapan orang still like that, no? You know? Whereas aku pernah watch this show kat HBO, this makeup artist Mak Saleh, I forgot his name tau. That fucker pula. That guy dia makeup tapi badan dia muscular and dia straight. So basically, so it's like macam he is so masculine tapi you know at the same time dia do a feminine job. So kalau orang pandang macam gitu, komen-komen gitu, macam mana korang overcome that? Pasal sekali dua kali pergi mampus kau, tapi macam kau dah banyak kali macam irritating dia kan.
Tak, kita dah lari actually.
Okay.
But I always mistaken as a photographer.
Sama-sama. Sebab
Assalamualaikum. Fotografer kau dah sampai.
kita pergi makeup assignment bawa trolley. Bawa luggage.
Bawa luggage. Kita tak bawa bag makeup.
So ingat korang fotografer lah?
Fotografer.
Yes, kau tu, yes, don't ambil trick kau, yes. Okay.
So kita senyum, but kita cakap, oh tak, actually kita makeup. Oh, makeup.
Okay.
So
Tapi normally bila orang dah engage korang, basically orang dah tahu yang korang makeup kan. Ada family members yang macam oh you're a guy, I engage you tapi untuk time makeup untuk nikah tu pakai your female makeup artist tak? Ada tak macam itu?
ada, kita ada macam-macam. Kita ada yang very conservative, kita ada yang very open, kita ada yang tak kisah. Kita ada macam-macam lah. So kita akan tanya diorang nak makeup siapa, but rata-rata I think 80% my client nak saya makeup.
Yalah.
So,
Because
bila
they engage you already.
So
Tapi kadang-kadang bila dah engage tu, aku notice bila dah engage tu, but mom, I want Hambali to make up. Tak payah, but he's a guy. You know, nanti dia make up kau kan bukan muhrim, nanti macam kalau kau dah make bank, you know, the those scenarios mesti ada kan. So you proceed ke ataupun macam
kita akan proceed bila kita dapat clearance from the parents. Sebab dalam wedding ni dia akan saya always cakap dengan klien lah, wedding ni dia tak bukan pasal kau punya wedding je. It will involve your family, your parents. So kita tak nak ketepikan orang. So kalau diorang okay, I okay. So mungkin bila first time jumpa tu diorang macam no, kita nak perempuan juga. So bila diorang dah kenal kita 2-3 kali datang fitting, berbual, dan kita tunjukkan macam how we works, macam kita tukar baju macam mana, kita bilang diorang, kita explain.
you always have a female assistant lah?
For wedding, yes.
Pasal kadang nak kena pakai the female baju kan.
So dia orang okay lah after that.
Okay, you are more on the TV industry.
Okay.
As you know, I'm a retired actor. Saya berlakon 16 tahun, 17 tahun yang saya retired. Kalau korang nak tahu, hari ni aku menang pelakon lelaki terbaik tu, aku dihiaskan oleh Rafi.
Ya, tu tahun 2015.
15. I was sponsored by him. I was dressed in Ted Baker. Dia yang cantikkan aku, yang aku menang best.
Malam tu banyak orang menang.
Banyak orang yang dia jaga yang menang. Lepas tu 2016 aku retired. Tak payah nak cakap kenapa lah. Okay, so I'm from the scene.
Okay.
So I see people who do makeup are the same faces. Kalau tak dini tak dini tau. So is it a crony or is it macam okay, kalau bikin TV makeup kan, orang ni je bikin. Kau takkan nampak muka orang lain. Ataupun what's more important to do TV makeup? Is it the pricing you give, or is it the crony that you are in, or is it you must be in the good books of all production? Which is more important for you?
Which is more important I think credibility lah.
Credibility.
So bila peluang tu diberi, I think my first production dengan TV tu, okay, let's talk about TV production. My first one was Saat Pagi Singapura. That was in 2015, late 2014, 2015 yeah. So that was when they
Pagi Singapura siapa? Sujimi
dengan Pizza O that time. Then when they did back, so that was my first one. Then followed by after that was a Singapore Brunei punya show.
Okay.
Yeah. Then from there dapat job sikit then alhamdulillah semakin tahun job bertambah. So if you want to say kenapa is it because of crony? Is because of apa lagi?
Good books.
Good books
crony,
good books of people.
good books,
Yeah.
or ataupun is just industri ni susah nak masuk.
Okay.
Apa?
Industri ni
Kau bawa handphone datang set Kita langsung. Okay, continue. Okay.
apa tu
Why do you think you are still in this? Is it because bagus kan? Bagus. We know you are bagus. No?
Yeah.
So is it bila bikin TV untuk makeup ni kan, repo ni nak kena bagus, nak kena jaga. Pasal terus terang bro, I've done this. I did TV for 17 years.
Yeah.
I see makeup artist
In and out.
In and out. Tapi macam mana the out pun nanti dia kena in balik. Macam the same people. Basically to me kan, kau one of the new ones.
Yeah.
Kalau compare dengan orang-orang yang dah bikin lah kan.
the new one.
You are kirakan the new generation tau.
Yeah.
So kenapa macam susah sangat ada get new players? Asyik orang tu.
Mungkin selain daripada credibility, I mean like our quality of work is because nak survive in the industry ni kena banyak sabar. Kena banyak cekal.
Yalah.
Kena tahu our purpose lah, sebab kita tahu sometimes kan bila orang yang tak berpengalaman dalam industri ni, kita tengok saya stylist, I dictate what you supposed to wear. But kadang-kadang you forget TV station, they have their own planning ni. They need to look like this. So I've learned that kita kena work together with the production.
Jumpa tengah.
We work together. Sometimes orang nak ABC kadang-kadang, tapi kadang A ni tak sesuai dengan
Correct.
So usually kita akan bincang lah. So that is one. Another one is work that's delivered, how you deliver, and then the team that's helping you also memainkan peranan yang penting. Sebab kalau team you yang helping you is good, InsyaAllah lah, we are always in their mind to call us back. So I will consider still new in the TV industry sebab and still sustaining lah in the TV industry, and one of the main income that I must say that is with me.
Okay.
Yeah, for me.
Hambali, you have you cakap you punya abang anda punya company dah 10 years, you have done makeup. Orang yang kat sana, pada perempuan akan faham. Pada jantan-jantan kelepek yang kat sana yang tak tahu benda, I will tell you something.
Okay.
Although aku not in the makeup world, I know good makeup is very expensive. Good brushes is very expensive. How much money have you spent? You rasa dalam these 10 years brushes and makeup. How much have you invested?
Makeup ke dengan baju sekali?
Just no, I'm talking about makeup, bukan baju. Just on makeup itself, the good brushes, the good foundations, the good lipsticks.
Ribu lah,
tak ada ratus lah.
Tak ada ratus lah.
Brush paling murah pun brushes 300-400 lah satu set. Paling murah.
Paling murah.
Paling murah.
Paling murah is the quality one lah.
What is the most expensive brush you ever own? Pasal kalau chef kan, semua orang masih ada one knife yang ini master sword ni, master what mungkin
Aku pernah beli one set NAS punya brushes. So I think dalam 2008
2008
2008
untuk satu set brush Kau pula?
To me,
Paling mahal?
I don't think I have bought anything very expensive. To me, semua okay lah. Walaupun I use a middle range brand in my thing, brush pun tak lah, because for me I build up brush. There are some brushes that is as old as like more than 10
sampai
years
dah tahu berupa brush,
sampai
but we
bawah
still
dia,
use
dia dah keluar, tapi itu macam brush drama
The magic brush
Tapi to me magic tu is the skill lah. It's still the skill. Sekarang ni skill tu masih ada kat kita. So manalah tahu besok skill tu dah ditarik balik pada kita tak tahu. Sebab right now is memang betul. Kau kasi apa kita barang pun, you can still give the finishing product as what we want. Yeah.
But I think he uses more makeup because dia pengantin. Orang punya makeup like so much.
Yeah.
tebal sikit lah compared to TV.
Tapi for TV dia,
But TV kau makeup banyak orang tau.
TV banyak orang. Tapi so you need to know, okay, bila TV ni kan, one thing is you need to know and need to read person's face, what suits them, face, skin type, how the makeup reacts to you, and what is going to match dengan baju, and how it's going to appear on screen. Sebab kadang-kadang kita nampak macam ni okay tau. Lepas tu nanti kita ambil gambar, lepas tu I always check, lain. That's what I always do. So bila shoot kan, I always ask, model, can you please selfie? Bila ada selfie tu, dan kita boleh zoom lah. Mana nak kena touch-up sikit. So usually for TV tu, the crucial is benda tu akan zoom kat you, especially for the main anchor, macam the main host kan. So usually that's what we do lah. So to ensure that benda tu dalam kita tengok okay, dalam kamera pun okay.
Tadi kita cakap pasal background kau.
Yeah.
You and my wife were from the same school.
Yeah.
Okay. This guy, dia daripada sekolah madrasah Madrasah Al-Junaid. Kebanyakan orang yang daripada madrasah ni kita tahu haluan dia akan ke mana. But daripada
Ustaz Zaid Zain was my classmate tu.
Apa?
Zaid Zain.
Zaid Zain. Ustaz Zaid Zain, how are you bro?
Ustaz Nuzan.
So the thing is, you chose this path. You know? Aku akan tanya kenapa kau choose this path lah. We will talk about it. But how did family, because the people that you grew up with see that? Pasal the truth is kan, bagi aku ustaz-ustaz ni yang jadi ustaz ni, diorang tak judging tau. Yang tak jadi ustaz ni yang jadi judging ni.
Betul.
So
Ustaz netizen.
Ustaz netizen. So
Deraka.
So because you chose that path tau. Pasal you are the person macam okay, kita bukan, aku cakap sekolah yang bukan madrasah tu tak kena arti halal dan haram.
Yalah,
you know?
betul.
End of the day, we know what's halal, what's haram. And sometimes we cannot deny the fact. Haram is haram, halal is halal. You know, sometimes you do makeup with a lady inside a room tu close pasal tak nak orang nampak. You know, those type of thing kadang-kadang orang cakap tak boleh, haram lah, datangkan maksiat, whatever lah, you know, all those kind of thing. And you still chose this line. Kawan-kawan you yang membesar dengan you, how did they take it? Bila starting tu?
Bila kita buat wedding, okay, first I think the first ustaz yang tegur and ask me to come and like sini lah berbual dengan aku was Ustaz Zaid. So saya selalu avoid. Okay, kita paisi macam diorang ustaz sih. Kan at the end of the day diorang ustaz, habis aku buat makeup je. So diorang punya level kira macam people look up on them lah, macam
maybe because you are from the madrasah. People like me, if I see ustaz, I'll just find them you're normal.
Macam okay, macam kita rasa macam sikit low lah. I mean tak confident sangat macam okay, diorang dah reach to the level macam diorang akan give advice to the youngsters, macam kita akan look up on to them. Tapi bila buat wedding tu Zaid cakap sini lah berbual sikit. Paisi lah. Cakap asal nak paisi? We're the same school, kita kawan apa?
Classmate.
So tak ada perlu rasa malu ke apa. You are doing a noble thing, dia kata. So ni every kerja is satu ibadah. So from there macam maybe need to really macam just be myself lah. Macam tak payah sit sembunyi
Bila
lagi.
kau makeup, do you wear like gloves or wear plastic gloves ke? Just to
When needed lah.
when needed lah. Kalau katakan macam nanti tersentuh lah ada batas.
Kita bukan macam komplain macam semua kita pakai glove ataupun semua kita tak pakai. So kita tengok kadang customer ni cakap bang nikah saya akan dalam wuduk tau. So kita faham lah.
Betul ke orang cakap ini myth lah urban legend. Kalau potong andam tu, kalau perempuan bikin kat perempuan jadi, lelaki bikin kat perempuan tak jadi. Apa pandangan anda?
Saya tak pernah buat potong andam.
Masih ada tu orang buat betul.
Tapi what I learn was cukur andam ni dia bukan untuk tahu whether apa-apalah jadi ke tak jadi ke, dara ke tak dara ke. Cuma dia untuk bersihkan muka je. Dia tak ada
yang
tak ada.
Kita akan come back dengan segmen 2. I want to ask Rafiq in detail bila make up kat TV ni ada tak diva-diva? Bukan make up dorang. Aku nak tanya Hambali tentang wedding services dia yang orang damai bila dia tak bayar ataupun mungkin as make up ada hardship, you know. So kita akan come back to segment 2, tapi kita dengar dulu from our sponsors Debtpedia about their services and how we should get out of debt in a smart way. We'll come back after this.
Never ever give up. Azala salam umbrella, put our hands up.
Hi, I'm Sufyan Umar from Debtpedia. Okay, so today I'm going to share with you, a very interesting scenario, for about me, a life as a debt advisor, what I've handled through, basically all these years, my experience of handling debt issues with all my clients. So basically, what I can share is that there are various cases that I can actually share with you guys, but I have this one unique situation, that I have handled a case, and this might be quite sensitive for some, whereby I've handled cases whereby a lady, who is troubled by debt. Basically, when they came to approach me, they approach as a husband and wife lah. So when I get to know about the issues, she has a debt with banks, credit card, personal loan, and even license money lender issue lah. So she was quite troubled. Both of them are quite troubled at that point of time. And they did not know who they are actually going to turn to. Basically to them, not knowing of the situation solution outside, they feel that this is the end of the road for them. And upon meeting at the point of time, when I've assessed the current situations, able to actually make them understand, of the solution that are able to actually help them along the way, they feel a sense of relief. Basically they know that when they are in this, it's not the end of the road. There is a solution. But this solution, in order for it to work, they need to ensure, they make this thing work as well. And for that situation itself, it is a very sad case because the moment when she came, to me, the second time itself, to handle all this people issue, she came alone. And when I asked where is your husband, she told me that they are already processing for divorce matters lah. Which is a very sad issue. When I got to know, all these debt issues arises when the husband itself are taking loans out of her wife's name lah. So meaning to say everything kirakan dah tinggalkan bulat-bulat lah. For the wife to actually handle things off, and perhaps for herself she cannot manage lah. And the debts that she have already accumulated at the point of time, just to share with you, is actually close to 93,000 lah. I can tell you 93,000 is not a small amount, is a vast amount for us to actually handle. And for her to handle this thing alone, it is a challenge lah. So what we do, we work hand in hand with her. We will ensure that whatever proceeding that she is going to take, along the way, we will ensure that we will hold her hand right from the start of the proceeding, and along the way I will be there with her. Along the way of how things are going to be managed, I'm going to share with her all the the directives of what she need to do, and also, right till the end, we will ensure that she will get out of this mess in a very subtle way. So guys, if you have any debt issues outside, please remember there is hope. And when there's hope, there is always Debtpedia. Alright, sure. So anything, if you want to know more, please hit me up. I'm always there at all times. Thank you.
Never ever give up. Azala salam umbrella, put our hands up.
Hey guys, welcome back to segment 2 dengan my guest Encik Rafiq dan Encik Hambali dengan topik lelaki yang membuat kerja makeup artist. Okay, sekarang masuk segmen 2. Aku nak tanya kau, kau ada makeup TV kan, ada tak macam bila kau dah makeup kan, tiba-tiba aktor atau aktris ni cakap, sorry lah, I nak makeup sendirilah, I tak nak you makeup. Sering kali berlaku ataupun it only happens with the big stars?
So far, Alhamdulillah, even we have worked with big stars so far.
Okay, tak ada yang adjust makeup dorang balik?
Tak ada.
Siapa artis paling besar kau pernah makeup?
Artis paling besar?
Paling popular lah.
Popular. Macam mana cakap?
The most popular. Singapore, Malaysia, whatever lah, Indonesia, whoever.
Siapa yang tak ingat pula sekarang?
Tak ingat?
MC.
Kira kan the profile paling besar lah.
Profile paling besar? Syamil. Alah, Syamil tu dah member sendiri, nak kira apa besar sama je. Okay, the thing is, sebab kita dalam industri dah lama, dah berapa tahun ni kan. Kadang-kadang raga-raga artis ni macam kawan kita. So, diorang anggap kita sebagai kawan and they have respected us with our work. So, sometimes kita kenal diorang, apa diorang nak, apa yang works for them. So, kita give what they want lah.
Tapi makeup lelaki senang kan?
Ada susahnya. Susahnya is, memang dah cara dia senang. Tapi susahnya is to match the skin tone as closest as possible. So, tak terputih, tak tergelap. So, kadang-kadang dia nampak okey, dalam TV nampak grey.
Pasal dulu by the time aku was still acting, I know of some actors bila makeup artist dan makeup kita kan, diorang akan pergi adjust sendiri. So, diorang cakap terlalu putih lah, hitam lah. So, when people do that, do you get offended?
So far, kalau I tanya dia okey tak, kalau tak okey, bilang. Usually I would rather they tell us like, I think nak kena kasi putih sikit atau then better daripada dia diam je tak ada buat apa-apa kan. To me, I think to survive in the industry, kita kena cekalkan diri, maknanya open to any form of criticism on your face.
But is the money good? Tak boleh lama mana, is the money good?
The money, I must say, dia taklah kaya raya, tapi Alhamdulillah masih boleh survive. Dia tak cakap, terus terang dia tak cakap kalau full time job tu memang lebih makan atas angin lah kan, lebih comfortable. Tapi because minat, also we have more time to do a lot of other things. Then we are more flexible with our timing. Kita atur kerja kita sendiri. Dan ini yang kita dah pilih kan. So kita kena kerja lebih keras. So I rasa selepas berhenti daripada full time job tu, memang kerja lebih keras lah. InsyaAllah lebih halal lah. Tapi Alhamdulillah, lepas walaupun dah tak kerja full time, dapat juga pergi overseas, dapat juga pergi umrah sama-sama.
Ya
kan?
betul, korang boleh umrah.
So Alhamdulillah. So nak kata rezeki tu susah, memang susah lah. Rezeki tu yang halal memang susah, tapi kalau kita kerja keras, insyaAllah ada lah.
Ya, tahu ni pada rezeki halal ni memang susah.
Memang susah.
Aku selalu dekat Facebook, kadang-kadang aku nampak Hambali post sindiran. Ada sindiran.
Dia pandai banyak.
Sindiran kau terlalu halus, tapi pasal aku ni pandai membaca dan we are friends. So
tepat.
Kadang-kadang aku I realize that you sometimes there's one post tu, tak salah you pernah post, if I'm not wrong, it's about you giving a services. Bila you minta you punya payment, macam you pula berhutang dengan orang. Does that always happen to this trade? Because before you came, I had my guest, Mr. Idham from For You Wedding Services. So he explained one of the downfall of bikin wedding ni is pasal kita ni Melayu ni selalu orang yang lebih kurang. So kadang bila lebih kurang ni, orang take advantage kat kita. So last payment tu selalu tak masuk. So I think you also face the same last payment tak masuk.
Dia tak selalu lah. Dia ada few, tapi ada few tu yang orang berterus terang. So bila dia berterus terang kita sebagai manusia ni, kita taklah tuntut on the spot. So kita kasih dia orang
yang lari
time. Yang lari tu dia be frank, dia kurang ajar sikit. So dia menguji kesabaran kat situ lah. So macam bagi aku, kalau kau ada masalah, kau tak boleh bayar, then kau cakap dengan aku, okay, kau tak payah nak bodoh-bodohkan aku.
So dia tu saya trip. So dia lari
dia macam itu, tapi mak dia yang call. Mak dia mak dia cakap, sorry Paiseh gini. Mak dia tahu lah anak dia salah dia karantin. So mak dia yang bayarkan.
How expensive are you?
Murah-murah je.
2,000 murah dia.
tak pasal aku pernah inquiry untuk my wife punya sister nak kahwin. Aku call a few makeup artists and your price was the highest.
Really sebab itu termasuk dengan baju, bukan makeup saja.
So the thing is, the best memang mahal. Kau tak boleh compare Versace dengan Zara.
Tapi banyak orang cakap kita mahal, as in Hambali ni mahal sebab orang tak tengok dia punya breakdown dulu. Sebab kita inclusive of Andam, baju, makeup service and full accessories lah. Macam ada certain brother orang tak ada Andam, so which you kena opt another service from outside. So macam kita ni semua dah dekat dalam, kita hantar baju, kita ambil baju. So macam certain brother you nak kena ambil sendiri baju tu, habis pakai you kena hantar balik dekat bridal. Macam kita duduk rumah, kita datang, baju tu sampai, kita balik, baju tu balik. So kat situ adalah bila kita tanya klien, bila aku make up pengantin, aku tanya kenapa choose kita, macam mana kenal kita, what makes bila you dah tanya 2-3 pengantin punya vendors ni, kenapa you choose kita. Kata first service, then orang comfortable dengan kita, then orang cakap banyak yang cakap kita boleh berbual in terms of.
Why do you make up and go live every time?
Dulu marketing, sebab sebagai makeup artist lagi kita tak pakai makeup hari-hari. So weekend tu je, itu je kita boleh show off kita punya skills. So kita buat live dengan klien tu means that is how kita communicate dengan klien kita, how kita berbual dengan klien, how kita interact dengan klien. So kita nak orang tu tahu how kita do things lah.
Because you see, aku realise that if you're kalau kau pergi wedding caterers, kau pergi pelamin, if you are one of the good ones, the money is super. So for me also, I also have realised that if kalau the company of Pak Andam tu is a very very popular company, the money is actually very good. But the thing is,
besar periuk besar kerat.
Correct. So tak, question aku bukan besar periuk pun sekarang. question aku is with that can I say that you are booked at like a few months, you are 2 years kan? See, 2 years tau. So can I say that with so much rezeki dalam income, rezeki aku buat tadi baik aku dah. So much rezeki coming in, what are your plans for expansion? Ataupun you just want to remain just like that?
To be frank,
expansion meaning I have friends, I have opened something, people know aku good, but because I am so popular, aku besarkan chain aku, tapi yang keluar semua anak-anak ikan. Means I have like 20-30 artists, so my income will be very big. So but are you the type of whatever it is, biar kecil tapi aku nak lead? So what's your game plan?
That the second one, tapi bukan saya nak lead, saya nak mentor. Because to be frank, aku tak nak buat makeup sangat. So
why?
Tired. Penat. Sebab mostly benda yang kat showroom, jumpa klien, fitting, alteration aku buat.
Oh, damn.
Madam diorang cuma on the day. Diorang datang buat makeup, diorang balik.
Okay.
So logistic wise preparation kita yang aku masih buat sebab aku cerewet. So kalau nak mengharapkan orang, mungkin diorang tak faham cara kita. Dan mungkin ada silap kau bingit benda tu jadi 2 kali kerja. So aku rasa benda ni aku buat. So aku still got a group lah, a team yang akan assign orang gini-gini, but orang akan so kau meet my criteria lah. Macam first is how you communicate dengan client, not your skill. Aku tak tengok kau punya makeup boleh kita boleh share, kita boleh belajar. But kalau cara kau berbual dengan client tu aku turn off means
human skills human skill very important. Talking about team, how big is your team? Pasal aku dah sekarang aku dah betul kau dapat kontrak TV. Kontrak ni kasih Rafil. Mesti kau ada team kau tak boleh bikin seorang.
Betul.
Jangan bohong, mau balik umrah.
Betul.
So how big is your team now?
I'm in my company, I'm the only one leading lah.
Okay.
Usually my team depends on the project. So kita freelancers, kita also tolong other freelancers to work together. So depends on the project. Kadang-kadang the team can be as big as 10, can be as small as 3. So depends on the project. So usually that's when we gain credibility or trust lah from the production, because the team that been helping me so far, alhamdulillah,
is reliable. The makeup standards also must be of a certain level lah. So usually kalau I call you means you are okay lah. So it's always room to be better. Tapi kadang-kadang masa-masa tergenting tu you have a choice whether you nak ambil any Tom, Dick and Harry atau you still try your luck to get the best in your team.
This line. Tadi kita cakap pasal duit kan. Is it a good paying line kan? But aku believe that if you are in this line and you are lama and you dapat banyak job kan, aku rasa dia berbaloi. So aku nak counter tadi, betul kau cakap kalau full time job lagi better lah. But aku rasa kalau bikin makeup ni kan, and if you are in it, kalau kau selalu dapat job, the money is good. Pasal aku tahu rates, orang bayar drama berapa, orang bayar ni berapa. So kalau kau pegang kontrak, dia kalau kau makeup boleh earn much. Tapi kalau kau pegang kontrak, the money is there.
Yelah, money.
Kalau money is not good kan, kau tak pakai Cartier kat tangan.
Bukanlah sekarang.
Jangan memang mata kau ni zone. You know?
So, okay. Kadang-kadang kita nampak kalau orang dah tahu kontrak kita macam mana kan dengan quality production, memang nampak besar, tapi bila kita dah breakdown, berapa tolak wardrobe, berapa tolak makeup artist, you actually earning dia tu sebegini je. That is for you to bayar rental, kita punya transport, and kita punya kerja is bukan hari tu datang siapkan orang tu je, sebab we have a lot of things macam for example, kita kena nak buat show ni, kita kena cari sponsor, cari baju.
Kau tak faham, aku faham pasal aku used to be in the line.
Cari baju, fitting, alteration, so semua tu ada cost. But Alhamdulillah, I can still do simple alteration. So benda-benda simple kita buat. Tapi kalau benda-benda yang macam major, of course we have to hire people lah. Tapi so that's why there's a lot of cost behind a production. So ada like say transport banyak. Then manpower. Then when you break down, memanglah dapat tu memang dia kata.
Kenapa aku tanya korang this question? Kan?
Sebab
pasal secara dasarnya kalau korang public kan, netizens tengok, oh ni kerja dia makeup dia lagi ni, oh makeup dia kerja macam gitu lah. Actually, this makeup ni punya world ni is very detail of the barang-barang yang orang pakai and how far they can grow. There is an industry and it's a well-paying industry yang orang tak faham. Kadang-kadang orang cakap, ni kerja makeup mana lah boleh sara hidup, tak ada CPF, tak ada apa, rasa macam tak ada hasil, tak ada future. But the truth is, kalau korang dengar diorang berbual, daripada minat tu ada company, daripada minat tu bikin a lot of shows, you know, they are growing and they are expanding. Pasal the escalation progress tu ada. So this job is not a main job. Orang cakap kerja tak ada hasil. Soalan panas. Orang cakap makeup artist dari Malaysia tu lagi bagus daripada Singapura. Apa pandangan anda? Orang cakap makeup artist kat Malaysia tu pasal orang more expose, orang bagus, orang bikin artis besar. Bagi aku, dia bukan pasal bikin artis besar. Dia pasal the quality of work. Kalau kau kasih orang yang tak bagus pun, dia makeup perempuan macam mana cantik pun, it's cannot. So macam saya orang cakap makeup artist daripada Malaysia, Indonesia lebih bagus daripada locals. Terus terang je lah.
Aku mengaku diorang lebih advance in
terms of what?
The products or skills and how diorang market themselves.
Is it because diorang punya industry is bigger?
Probably, peluang diorang tu banyak. Banyak. Kita, kalau aku tak tolong TV, work tu weekend je. Monday to Friday jadi bibi kat kedai. So weekdays, weekend tu baru kita keluar.
Tapi diorang, market diorang besar. Okay, so diorang banyak. Tapi market Singapore kecil. Tapi aku tahu saya muka korang je.
That's why lah, market kecil. Jadi orang-orang tu pun gitu je lah.
Tapi you are conquering it right?
Kita tak monopolizing it. I think benda
ya ke? Tak lah, sekorang je.
Itu yang kau nampak. Itu kau nampak. Ya, tapi masih ada lagi. There are a few.
Bukan pasal diorang kawan aku, bukan pasal diorang show. If you're talking about the newcomers tapi orang yang bikin makeup yang baru-baru, yang kira kan the new players. We're not talking about when I joined TV 17 years ago. They are bagi aku the promising ones. You know, Rafil to me is a very promising. Dia boleh advance more. Hambali tak mahu cakap lah. I've seen his makeup. I am someone who do not know how to make up, but I can judge because aku in the industry, you know, he does very good. So that's why aku understand your progress and your success to have your Abang Andam punya company. I understand how you got so far. Kau imagine kalau kau design baju tak bagus, kau styling tak bagus, kau styling pecah, kau make up hancur, aku rasa kau tak sampai tahap ni. Same as you.
Kita pun dah nampak lah. I mean, kalau kau cakap dia aja on TV, kita pun ada nampak ada stylist, ada artis yang big court duit satu program. But after that kita tak nampak diorang. So kita tak cakap diorang tak bagus, tapi mungkin
salah, kalau tak ada lagi tak bagus lah. TV gitu. Tak bagus dia tak panggil. Macam aku bagus tapi aku kena ban. Saya tak faham. Alamak, personal pula.
Macam pada mata kasar tu kadang kita nampak benda tu tapi actually benda tu banyak benda-benda yang kita nak kena buat. Pada mata kasar nampak macam
That's why lah I say benda-benda kalau nak bertahan dalam industri, need to be in industry is not easy. Because the thing is you need to do hard work, a lot of hard work. And then the thing is you kerja you bukan when you datang kerja je. Ada back kerja macam like the way when you liaise with them, when you meeting with them, how we value add to their program kan. So benda-benda gini as someone who has a prior experience, it helped me lah to communicate with them certain things and all. So maybe itu diorang comfortable working with me, liaising with me. Then the team also macam they are familiar, they are okay with the team that I have. So itu also membantu. Dan of course peluang tu datang peluang tu datang when we need it. And benda tu like I say peluang, luck, hard work. So banyak benda lah dalam kita dalam resipi tu. So kalau cakap kita bagus je, kalau bagus tak ada hard work, tak ada luck, tak ada team yang menyokong kita, memang tak menjadi pun. Ya. So benda tu banyak.
Answer kau detail lah. Bagus lah. Aku tak tahu nak tanya apa. Sekarang apa market rate untuk salam? Bandar semua salam apa? Apa market rate sekarang?
Duit kipas.
Berapa market rate?
190.
Taklah dah naik lah.
Is itu orang cakap kadang-kadang duit kipas anda minta? Diorang demand. Saya
Saya tak cakap tapi kalau untuk company saya standard 150. So ada yang minta 200, ada yang minta 250, ada yang minta 300.
Kalau company I tuan.
But the thing is aku already paid beribu for the wedding. Aku paid so much money. Dah beribu aku bayar korang. Apasal nak kena sal duit kipas duit bulat.
Okay, benda ni kita pernah kipas. Okay, Singapore term kita tak dia pakai word ikhlas. Sorry Singapore tak dia pakai word ikhlas.
Why?
RM10 $5 pun diorang boleh cakap.
Yelah, ikhlas Azwan Ali dapat $50. Kau ada.
Ikhlas dapat tisu. Ikhlas apa? Kita tak boleh.
Apa dia Azwan Ali ni dapat 50?
Dia buat show kat Singapore. Lepas tu dia dapat duit show $50 aja. Dia kata ikhlas. Lepas tu dia kata dia naik Grab pergi bayar dapat 40, dia untung $10 je. Mana tak mengamuk kat melodi tu.
So Singapore tak boleh pakai tepi.
So kita kena bilang lah tak harga.
Oh serius
Okay, but your question is why is this 50 kipas for? Kenapa
dah bayar kau beribu? Nak duit lagi.
Duit kipas ni macam tips.
Dia macam tips.
Tapi bila kita cakap tips, dia boleh seikhlas hati lah. $1, $50. So kita pernah dapat $2. So kita cakap bila kita dapat $2, $5 ni macam.
But why set the price of 150? Why you set that price?
Sebab I think market
rate lah. Market rate lah.
Pasal kalau Cina kahwin kan, kalau macam driver dia ke apa, diorang akan kasih macam 88. Tapi untuk diorang this is good luck money.
Good luck lah,
Pasal budaya diorang believe in that luck. You know, that rate thingy, that you know, the whatever lah. Tapi macam budaya kita, duit kipas dia, is it good luck? Do we believe in good luck?
Tak lah, I think kita is more to tips lah.
Just service lah.
On top of duit kipas tu, mak Andam dapat gaji.
So,
tu responsibility as a mak Andam ni kita kena jaga perhatian lah.
Yalah.
So, dari segi diorang punya mungkin cara duduk, make them comfortable, berbual diorang.
The tips tu is not to him tau. Itu yang jaga dia kat plumbing sampai like from the makeup room to the plumbing.
Walaupun aku buat makeup, ada mak Andam tu dapat. On top of the gaji.
kau nak orang yang duduk pelamin, aku boleh jadi kipas gini je.
Kalau lelaki, actually dia bukan istilah duit kipas tu bukan duit untuk tutup kipas je lah. Kira untuk jaga pengantin. Dari pagi sampai malam.
How do you guys react when you guys walk and some masculine assholes nampak korang, this girl gonna bikin makeup, you know, ketawa, bagi korang kelidi, whatever. Macam mana korang react to that?
Aku rasa this age and time rasa dah tak ada kot. I think Singaporeans atau the community here, I think
dah terima
Yeah,
Dia lebih more
yeah,
educated
acceptable. Because they know that benda makeup ni is a skill. You ada orang dapat, orang tak dapat. Kalau you belajar ke London ke US ke, kalau apa tu talent tu tak sampai pun.
Tapi tak boleh cakap pasal makeup je lah, sebab kita pun ada bidan lelaki.
Ya.
Itu lagi beranak tau. Kita ada tukang masak lelaki. Bukan jahit lelaki. So
Cakap pasal tu, aku nak invite doktor lah. Doktor yang bikin beranakan tu. Pasal kira-kira itu dah considered dah haram tu. Tapi pasal sekarang dah masuk usul-usul agama sikit tau. Doktor kau
Macam
tengok.
aku tanya soalan ni
Ustaz cakap apa?
Ustaz, benda yang saya buat ni dosa tak? Saya kata actually semua kerja tu dia ada pros and cons lah. So selagi mana kita tahu cara kita tu, kita tak melanggar hukum, kan kita okay.
Adalah bro, aku rasa kan memang kalau kita betul-betul nak ikut the laws or betul-betul ikut agama kan. First of all, kita tak tinggal dekat padang pasir. Kita jalan kat luar kereta, bukan unta, you know. Kalau kita nak follow everything to the detail, we cannot survive in this modern world. And aku believe also someone who yang banyak tattoo, yang gonjol macam aku ni, aku still believe that whatever we do, kalau niat kita ikhlas tu, God will understand.
Tapi kalau kita cakap hukum dengan adat, nanti bila kita selit sikit adat, sebab kita orang Melayu, kita kaya dengan adat, tata sosial kita. So bila kita suntik so bila kita implement that sistem dalam kita punya fitting, mak-mak pengantin ni tengok cara kita bekerja, cara kita cakap, cara kita handle anak diorang, automatik diorang akan tak apa lah, on that day kau make up kan.
That's when you gain trust.
So
Not
saya
only
rasa
with the bride,
dia tak ada macam cakap, kau lelaki kau tak boleh, hukum haram tak ada. Cuma saya rasa diorang macam, kalau kau make up, siapa tukarkan baju? Cakap ada asisten perempuan. Ada asisten perempuan. So kita ada cara untuk kita buat kerja.
I think at this age, I think people are more aware and accept, because benda-benda ni, I think they are more smart lah. They use their own discretion. Benda-benda gini,
Okay. Nothing to do about makeup sekarang. Aku nak korang comment on this. Bidang-bidang perempuan masak paling man is leading it. Makeup man is leading it. Ajar kewok pun man yang leading it. You know? Kenapa trait perempuan di dalam dunia ni kan, man is leading it? Why do you think so?
why?
Benda ni perempuan, tapi
macam
tapi yang leading tu man, fashion designer.
Dia gini lah, dia gini, maybe because from a man's perspective, benda tu jadi lain tau.
Lelaki tengok lain
Woman to woman is different. When men look things, they look things subjectively. For the best of that person. For example, for let's say client tu perempuan kan, for me I would give the best. Like kalau benda tu tak sesuai, memang I cakap tak sesuai, tapi kadang-kadang maybe maybe fellow female tak sampai hati nak cakap ke, maybe, I don't know. Tapi when you say about why men are leading this female world, like makeup lah, hair lah kan, itu I rasa, I think that is maybe kelebihan men yang ada yang woman tak ada kot.
So okay, besides wedding, TV, korang pun do macam personal makeup kan, orang nak event. Okay, so kat bawah ni ada nombor ni, ini Rafil, tu hamba
follow
aku tak tahu mana, bawah ada nombor telefon orang. So kalau you guys want to have to engage the services, kalau nak kahwin, please go to Hambali. Kalau kau nak keluar dating, kalau kau nak propose kat girlfriend kau kat atas jembatan, kat sini cantik, you can call Rafil, call Hambali. They are really good at it. They are very responsible, orang amanah, you know, they take their work very seriously. Pasal aku kenal orang dah a few years now. So the French, it's not only based on friendship. Pasal aku nampak you guys are very serious. Pasal the thing is kan, seriousness to do something is very important. You know? And aku would really appreciate, aku really appreciate you guys coming down to share korang ni stories. So kita start dengan Rafil. So to close everything, to tutup this week punya this episode ni, 1 minute you can say anything to the camera. You nak cakap pasal services juga, you nak cakap pasal orang skeptical ke, nak cakap thank you ke, you can say anything you want. Kau nak mencarut ke, kau nak maki orang ke, yang panggil dia yang bayar $50 makeup ke, aku boleh address that issue now. No censorship.
Wah, okay. I think kalau nak sum things up kan, memang benda ni what I'm doing now, I will not say where I am now lah. What I'm doing now is sokongan daripada kawan-kawan, family members, my parents kan.
So memang thanks to them, sebab without orang punya sokongan kan, especially in my business, memang my family very hands on. Memang my mother especially help me a lot. So kalau tanpa sokongan diorang memang tak akan sampai ke sini lah. So and I must say the brand building is still going on. Cuma it was on a fast track on the beginning. That is my luck, I rasa, sebab based on my last background and also benda tu menjadi mudah lah, and the people around me. So it's still a work in progress kan. So Giovanni is still ada bikin baju, makeup, and now memang more towards the bespoke bridal. Hari Raya also coming, so memang makin busy lah. Then insyaAllah rezeki tu kalau kita work hard, like I said just now, work hard, luck, know your credibility, then of course kena kerja keras lah, jujur, and also insyaAllah benda-benda resepi tu kan boleh buat kita.
Sekarang baru aku tahu kenapa dia degree dalam mass communication. Pasal kalau dia answer, dia can't answer every single lubang. Aku suka guest macam ni, jadi aku tak payah nak Boleh anything to say about your services, or you want to say
I
anything,
think people
or thank you ke for supporting you?
about me lah. Okay, cuma just nak cakap bila dalam industri makeup ataupun wedding ni, ataupun sebagai seorang manusia ni, kita need one another. So saya support dia support saya, saya support foto, video, you know, catering, semua kita need one another.
Video kau point kat aku.
Maksudnya kat situ kena ada satu togetherness lah, synergy lah. Jangan macam pandang serong dengan one another. Kita dalam dunia ni pun kita perlukan one another. So appreciate everyone. Sayang semua orang. Yalah, it's some things out from what I said is no one is a mess work lah. So kita bekerja bersama with everybody in the industry. We all need each other in the industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, korang dah dengar dorang dua cakap. So to me, to sum it up, right, kita dah cakap pasal their work, their success, and why they do it. But the real purpose kenapa aku invite Hambali and Rafil is, every episode I keep on emphasizing this. Kita sebagai manusia jangan judge. You know, kadang-kadang kita nampak orang kerja, dia ni kerja apa ni, kita judge, kita panggil dia itu, kita panggil ni. It does not benefit our society, it does not benefit us as a human being. Stop judging, give everybody chances. So again, Rafil and Hambali, terima kasih from the bottom of my heart to take the time to come and to share your experience, and I hope that your Abang Andam business will grow bigger, you become a bigger name in television.
InsyaAllah.
Walaupun aku takkan balik ke studio makeup.
You never know.
Memang tak dapat pun.
Tapi tadi kau cakap pasal stop labeling and still judging. Yeah, I think in this right now, I think we should stop labeling everyone lah. Yeah. I think everyone as a human deserves to live and to be the best of you. Tak payah nak judge lah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, thank you for watching episode 9. Alhamdulillah, kita dah episode 9. Please go to siapa yang belum subscribe, janganlah tengok aja, subscribe, because kalau you all tak subscribe, I cannot continue to do this, and I hope I can bring you guys more better episode. Episode kali ini disponsor oleh Debtpedia. Kalau ada masalah hutang, you don't know how to settle that, please go and consult them, please go and call them. Alright, thank you guys, and we'll come back with episode 10 soon dengan topik-topik yang lebih-lebih panas. Hashtag semua benda boleh cakap.
Streetway, Hombre 21. Assalamualaikum, kongsi apa yang terjadi. Bukan borak, cerita betul yang lama kita alami. Ada yang budi ikhlas, ada yang juga kroni. Tak perlu hati-hati, boleh luahkan dekat sini. Buan-buan jangan marah, jangan senggan jika semua terungkap perkara terjadi. Mereka nak ucap segalanya yang tercalar, kita jadikan iktibar. Masing bawa mata kail, jawab soalan negeri kail. Mari terus cakap, never ever give up. Asal-asal ombre, let's put our hands up. Mari terus cakap, never ever give up. Asal-asal ombre, let's put our hands up. Mari terus cakap, never ever give up. Asal-asal ombre, let's put our hands up. Mari terus cakap, never ever give up. Asal-asal ombre, let's put our hands up. Mari terus cakap, mari terus cakap, mari terus cakap. Family, unity, cakap loyalty. Mari turun cakap. gagap